in the procurement process. He says that Prof is attempting to commission an audit himself. He says Prof is interfering with an audit process. He's circulating audit observations unlawfully and so much more. We'll be bringing you the specific details of these accusations being made by Daniel Domelevo. But join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the City Center for the City Forum. The City Forum, the Joy FM City Forum, comes off at the City Center. That is the Economics Department of the University of Ghana. And we are looking at Ghana's depressing city depreciation. Forgive me, Ghana's depressing city depreciation. How do we stem the tide? Our panelists are Ken Thompson, CEO, Dalex Finance, Dr. Joseph Obing, President, Ghana Union of Traders Associations, Kuta, Dr. Said Boache, Senior Research Fellow, Institute for Fiscal Studies, and the time is 6 p.m. All are cordially invited. Joy FM, your thought leader. Remember, the Pop Chain concert is coming off shortly, and we will be speaking with our friends and the organizers of the Pop Chain. Of course, we are all organizers of the Pop Chain. We'll be speaking with the representatives of the team on the show this morning. Now, text messages are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last you a lifetime, and Glyco Travel Insurance Policy, we cushion you for life. Glyco is offering you today the most comfortable chair in the world, the Nightingale Extreme Comfort Chair. It has over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. So go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel this chair. You will be amazed. The U.S. Ghana Chamber of Commerce presents the Global Women's Professional and Business Exchange Conference on Saturday, October 6 at Kempinski Hotel. Highly accomplished global women will connect with their Ghanaian counterparts for professional and business partnerships, global business and career advancement opportunities, mentoring and coaching, and sharpened networking skills. Take your career and business to the next level. Join us at the GWX conference. Call us on 0544 326 394 or 050 726 8169 or visit globalwomanx.org. Keep moving forward together. Great. Let me come to my friends in studio now. Raymond, Malik, welcome once again. I will not say good morning a third time. But welcome once again. Very, it's okay. Let's move on.
You can go ahead and say it.
I won't mind you.
All right. I get you.
Very, very key issue. And I'm going to read the caption of this letter that Daniel Domelevo has sent to the president. Of course, it's a petition coming from him. It comes with his letterhead, the Auditor General's letterhead. It is addressed to His Excellency the President at Jubilee House, Accra. It's captioned, "Complaints against the board chairman and the board of the Ghana Audit Service." Let me come to Raymond first. Raymond, what does this letter say?
The first part talks about manipulating procurement process. He starts by quoting Regulation 29.7 of the Audit Service Regulation CI 70. It says it provides that individuals and institutions may be appointed by the Auditor General under the Public Procurement Act 2003 at 663 to assist the service to carry out its work, and that he requested the procurement officer of the Ghana Audit Service to write to the procurement authority for approval to do restricted tendering in accordance with Section 38 of the Public Procurement Act 2003 at 663. Following the approval from the PPA, the firms mentioned in the letter from the Ghana Audit Service and the PPA were requested to submit their technical and financial proposals for consideration. Indeed, he received a complaint from one of the prospective vendors that his firm was stopped from submitting their proposals. When he did his investigation, he revealed that the Audit Service Board Chairman instructed Mr. Johnson Ekuyamo Esiedu, a Deputy Auditor General, and Mr. Ebenezer Agulomasa, a procurement officer, to replace the approved firms with others of his. That's the chairman's choice in this particular case. So that is his first complaint. Without his knowledge and without going back to the Public Procurement Authority to change the list originally approved, and that's what he stated. The chairman admitted to the offense. This is Mr. Domelevo saying that the chairman Mr. Duajman, admitted to the offense with the excuse that the law did not exist during his tenure. And this is the chairman, Mr. Duajman's tenure as Auditor General. And he continues to say that Section 92(2)(b) of the Public Procurement Act provides that it's an offense for anyone to directly or indirectly influence in any manner or attempt to influence in any manner the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract. And he proceeded to submit that the chairman did not only violate the procurement process, but also interfered with his mandate, that is Domelevo's mandate. Audit, which is the audit and outsourcing of audits in the public service, are the exclusive prerogative of the Auditor General. So this is the first point he makes about manipulating procurement process.
Yeah.
To which somebody was removed from the procurement process by the direction of the chairman of the board, who asked one member of the Auditor General's department to do so.
Okay.
He believes that this flies in the face of the law. He said he has already confronted the man who said the time that he was Auditor General, that's the board chairman, this law did not exist. So he's not familiar with the details of it. That is why he did that. And that is clearly what he stated in it.
Why does this remind me of, I mean, if this is true, because this is a petition in the words of Mr. Daniel Domelevo, if it is true that the board chairman responded in this way, it eerily reminds me of Professor Newman Kusi when he says that he does not know the laws governing the work that he does. It's very, very worrying. Malik.
And so that's the first of the many issues that this is a 10-paragraph letter or petition that he sent to the president. The second issue he raised was one relating to attempting to commission an audit. His case before the president is that the board chairman invited Mr. Bless Bafwata, this is a deputy auditor general, to a meeting which was attended by the board chairman himself and others. The purpose of this meeting was to discuss the audit of MMDAs, that's ministries, departments, and agencies, the liabilities of these MMDAs.
Is it MDAs or MMDAs?
This is MMDAs.
So this is metropolitan
and district assemblies.
Thank you.
To audit their liabilities without his knowledge. That's the Auditor General's knowledge. And the Deputy Auditor General showed him a letter inviting the chairman in his capacity as chairman of the audit service of the board to this meeting. Now, he says when he questioned the board chairman as to what mandate he has to audit the public service and the reasons why this meeting was called without the knowledge of the Auditor General, the board chairman's response was that that particular audit, and this is the audit of the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, was below the level of the Auditor General.
But the board chairman is above the level of the Auditor General. So if it's too low for the Auditor General,
yes.
How is
the
it?
board chairman is attending a meeting, and in this meeting is a deputy auditor general, and the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the auditing of some metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, and this is happening without the knowledge of the Auditor General. And when he found out, he saw a letter, and this letter was shown to him by his deputy, and this letter was inviting the board chairman to the meeting, which the deputy was also attending. And he confronted the board chairman. The board chairman's response was that he thought that this particular edit fell below the level of the Auditor General.
And again, I ask, the board chairman is above the level of the Auditor General. How is it that you are dealing with things you think are below your subordinate?
Well,
anyway, Raymond.
Yes, the next one is interfering with audit process. He states that on the 8th of May 2018, he was in Kigali and he received a call from Roberta Esiama Apia. She is a deputy auditor general who was acting as the auditor general in his absence. That the chairman had instructed her to invite the team conducting a special audit at the National Health Insurance Authority to a meeting with the chairman. This is the following day. So, at his request, the deputy who was acting as Auditor General sent him an email on the instructions with a copy to the chairman. Further to the email, he sent an email to the chairman requesting him to confirm he had been sent and asked also for his reasons in case he gave the instruction. On the 9th of May 2018, there was a reply from this chairman, and the chairman's reply in detail was pretty simple. Indeed, the chairman did state that, well, the chief executive of the National Health Insurance Authority came to him, the chairman, with audit observations that were of concern to the management of National Health Insurance Authority, and hence his directive to meet with the audit team. The chairman also accused, and Mr. Domelevo thinks this accusation is wrong, the audit team for giving the audited institution only 5 days to respond to the audits in this case, and proceeded, in fact, he believes that that was the interference of the chairman. And instead of 30 days, Regulations 34.2b provides that an audit team shall obtain written responses from the audited organization for the observations made before leaving the location. The 30-day wrongly referred to by the chairman, according to Section 29(1) of the Audit Service Act, applies to observations issued by the Auditor General or his authorized officer called management letter as a result of an audit and not the observations issued at the audit location. He wrote to the chairman again, questioning the mandate with which he was interfering in the audit process, and informed him that he was inviting his lawyers to come in and stop him, that's the chairman, from the continuous interference with his constitutional mandates. So that is the third issue.
Okay. Now there is a fourth issue, and this one has to do with unlawful circulation of audit observations. You have to remember that the issue that Raymond raised, when the Auditor General was dealing with that issue, he actually threatened the board chairman. He said he was having discussions with his lawyers and was contemplating suing the board chairman over these infractions. Now, in the fourth point, he says that the audit observations usually are classified or confidential documents, and they are meant to be distributed to only the audited institutions. Now, following his email in which he threatened lawsuit against the board chairman then sent a note, and he attached this note to the petition to all board members and the secretariat, and he stated two things. The first thing the board chairman stated was that the board is responsible for corporate governance of the service and is ultimately accountable and responsible for the overall performance of the service. The second thing the board chairman stated in his note to the board members was that the board shall determine the structure and technical expertise required for the efficient performance of the functions of the service and ensure that the auditing activities of the audit service, as spelled out in the Act, are carried out in accordance with the best international practice. This is what the board chairman says. Now, Mr. Domelevo's case before the president in this petition is that when the board chairman sent this note, he attached copies of audit observations, which he said should never have been seen. He said these observations were sent to board members and the secretariat, and he subsequently received a call from a media house that wanted to discuss the audit observations with him on radio. And he said, first of all, audit observations that were meant to be sent only to the institutions that have been audited. The board chairman attached these audit observations to his note to the board members, and these audit observations got leaked, and a radio station called him to have a discussion. So he's accusing the board chairman of unlawfully distributing audit observations that ought to have been in the custody of only the institutions that have been so audited. This is his fourth issue captured in the petition.
The fifth one is about the role of the other members of the board. And you know from what Malik has just given you in details of the fourth issue that there was a note sent by the board chairman. There was a meeting of the board to discuss the note from the chairman. of course, and all the members except the head of the civil service, Nana Ajekum Jamina, were present. They did their best to come to the rescue of the chairman, this according to Mr. Domlevu, but he stood his grounds and also drew their attention consistently to Article 1877A, which provides that in the performance of his functions as Auditor General under the Constitution or any other law, he shall not be subject to the direction or control of any other person or authority. And he also referred to Article 1.2, which provides that the Constitution shall be the supreme law of Ghana, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of the Constitution should, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void. In other words, they cannot rely on the Audit Service Act to override his constitutional mandate. He stated that all the infractions mentioned above as the reasons for the conclusion that the chairman was finding it difficult to transit from his former position as Auditor General to that of a chairman. He believes that the board dismissed his accusations against the chairman on the grounds that he did not submit a written complaint to the board. It was also held that since the chairman did not meet with the audit team that was carrying out the audit at NHIA due to his intervention.
So Raymond, in this case, the board chose form over substance.
So they said he didn't write to us.
Yes, so I'm saying they chose form over substance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the board also said that since he came in to stop them from submitting, from allowing the audit service to intervene in this case, there was no interference.
Okay.
With his mandate.
Okay.
The meeting did not happen at all.
Guys, I want us to end this with a few points that Mr. Domelevo made at the end of the letter. He said that the chairman and his allies are clothing themselves with powers to directly control me unconstitutionally, and this must stop. I have served them with a notice that I will not obey any unlawful instructions from the board, including existing and new decisions that are inconsistent with the Constitution. So he will disobey them if it's not in line with the Constitution. He says that he had actually wanted to go to court, but he refused. He did not go to court because he has no reason to believe that the president or the administration is in support of what the board chairman is doing. And so, basically, if this fails, that option is open to him. Of course, we can't make that.
Auditor General had a lot of controversy surrounding him. PCRP Ofori had to go to court over him because there were complaints that he had stayed in office over 64 years and was still in office. And there was the question of whether he was a public servant and therefore ought to have gone on retirement at age 60. This was the matter PCRP Ofori went to court over this same Edward.
Prof. Edward Ajimine. Okay, guys, let's take this final batch of messages, and then when we come back, we'll be talking about the pop chain. Stay with us. We'll be right back.